Good morning. For Traders Exclusive, this is George Kachuk with RCM Wealth Advisors reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. Well, the equity markets continue to push higher. Last week, the S&P 500 and the Dow hit new highs. And I want to go over some of the stocks that we're seeing that are doing very well in the sector, in this market, sort of driving this market higher. So specifically the technology sector, we talked about this a few weeks ago, and now we had XLK, the technology ETF, hitting new highs. And we had stock like Facebook, symbol FB, hitting new highs last week. It's actually in a buy zone, but you need to be careful here because they do report earnings this week. And of course, that's always the unknown. However, we've seen a lot of gap ups from other companies reporting, such as Microsoft, gapped up after earnings. It's also still actually what I call a buyable gap up. And that symbol is MSFT. Also, we saw the same thing in Qualcomm, QCOM, gap up on earnings, and it's still holding up that gap. We saw that at eBay. EBAY doing very well. Cisco Systems also moving to new highs. That's at multi-year highs, and that's pretty amazing when the stock sort of pretty much has been left for dead for many years. Now it's basically hitting a new 10-year high. Now also this morning we're seeing some more through some small cap technology stocks breaking out, gapping up again to new highs. One is Lumentum, that symbol is LITE. If you can catch that in a lower part of the range today, that may be something you might want to consider. There's also a small cap called Silicom, that symbol is SILC. That's also gapped up this morning. We see Ubiquity Networks, UBNT, moving higher. So the technology sector is doing very well, and when we see this many gap ups, that's a very good sign for the general market. Now, one other important sector that's still basing, but is supposed to report some of the best earnings for the quarter and revenues, is the healthcare sector. Now, XLV, the healthcare ETF, is nearing new highs. Now, a lot of the biotech stocks are still dragging on this sector. However, we are seeing some improvement. Celgene last week got above its 200-day moving average. We'll see if it holds. That also reports this week. Gilead still down near its lows, reports this afternoon, so we'll see what that brings. Biogen reported last week, symbol BIIB, gapped up and still holding that gap, and possibly that may be a new move. Amgen's right in a buyable point, but it also reports this week, so you need to be careful. That symbol is AMGN. Now, other stocks that are actually at buyable points are Ligand, symbol LGND. It's right there at a 130-ish level. Medvation, MDVN, also trading very tightly. That's because there's news of takeover speculation, so it may trade in that area. Now, other companies are doing very well. It tells you the economy is expanding well. As companies we're seeing in the building sector. If we look at Beacon Roofing, that symbol is BECN, moving higher. Continental Building Products, symbol CBPX, also moving higher. Vulcan Materials, that symbol is VMC. And also US Concrete, that symbol is USCR. So again, when you see this many stocks in a certain sector, you know some importance going on there. You can take a look at LGI Homes, that symbol is LGIH. So I'm throwing out a lot of names at you, but that's because we have a lot of things going on, a lot of big gap ups. This is what's driving this market higher. So it is a time to be invested. Of course, before you look at any of these stocks, consult with your financial advisor to see if any of these trades are for you. So as always, let price and volume be your guide. This is George Kachuk with RCM Wealth Advisors reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor. Have a great trading week.